So I welcome you to this class. I'm Ms. Vandana Gupta, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. We are going to start with linear programming problem today. That is the one subunit of Unit 2 of Mathematics. So linear programming problem is basically used to maximize the profit or minimize the cost of production. Whenever the profit is maximized or the cost is minimized, certain restrictions are to be considered. As I mentioned you before, suppose a factory wants to maximize the profit. To maximize the profit, they might have to increase the production. For increasing the production, they might have to appoint more laborers, or they may ask the same labor to work for more hours, or they may be having the machines on which the product is processing through. Those machines may have a limited capacity of working. They might you can process those your product on those machines for a limited hours, so you cannot exceed the hours on the machine. Or the cost of raw material also can be restricted. So you may maximize the profit or minimize the cost, but you have to also satisfy the restrictions which are called as constraints. So the linear programming problem is to either maximize or minimize such that the constraints are also should be satisfied, or the restrictions. So the uh, function or the whatever you want to maximize or minimize, it is called as an objective function. Okay, but you also have to see that your restrictions or the constraints are also satisfied. So they are called as the constraints. So linear programming problem is an objective function along with the constraints. Before we actually begin the linear programming problem, let me explain you, or let me recollect some of the concepts from coordinate geometry. So that we will do today. You all know that any number can be plotted on a line. That line is called as a number line. All of you have done it in school days. This is a number line. Here it is 0. To the right side of 0, you have numbers positive, and on the left side, you have negative numbers. Correct? Any number can be plotted on this line. If I want 1.2, after 1 and 2, there will be so many numbers here between 1 and 2. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.001. Many numbers are there. Okay? Similarly, here also. So this gap between 0 to 1, 1 to 2, they are some numbers. Okay? Every number you can represent on the number line. Now what I do here, if I take the number line, two number lines, one is horizontal and the other one is vertical. They are intersecting at the point 0 and perpendicular to each other. Then I will get this kind of thing. See, this is the line. This is the line which is horizontal. This is the line which is vertical. Both are intersecting at right angle at this point, which is 0. This point is called as an origin. Okay, this point is called as origin. And it is denoted by O. Look at here. The horizontal line I will call as x-axis. The vertical line I will call as y-axis. To the right side of 0, I have positive numbers. To the left side of 0, I have negative numbers on the x-axis. On y-axis, above 0, I have positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 3. And on the y-axis, to the downside of 0, above means below, I have negative numbers. Now these two lines, they divide the entire plane into 4 parts. This is my plane. Plane means एक कोई भी सतह को plane बोलते हैं. So this is the screen of my laptop. I can call it as a plane. Now these two lines, they are dividing this entire plane into four parts. This is the first part, which is means from here to here, this part. It is called as first quadrant. This part is called as second quadrant. This is called as third quadrant, and this is called as a fourth quadrant. So x-axis and y-axis, they divide the entire plane into four parts, which are called as quadrants. If you take any point in the plane, it will have two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate. Let us see. Suppose I take the x-axis and y-axis like this. This is y-axis and this is my x-axis. And suppose, here below 0, I have negative. I take a point here and I ask you, what are the coordinates of this point? Let us call this point as P. As I told you, every point on the plane will have two coordinates. It is represented by two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate. So how to find out the x coordinate? From this point, draw a line which is perpendicular to x-axis and see where it meets. So this is meeting at the point 1. So I will say that the x coordinate is 1. From this point, draw a line which is perpendicular to y-axis and see where it meets. It meets at 3. So I will say that the point P has x coordinate as 1 and y coordinate as 3. In this way, any point I can take anywhere and I can find out its x coordinate as well as y coordinate. Let us take a point here, Q. And if I ask you, find out its coordinate, what you have to do? You have to, from this point, if you want x coordinate, draw a line perpendicular to x axis. यहाँ से आप draw करिए perpendicular and see where it meets. It is perpendicular मतलब ऐसा 90 degree. So it meets at 3. So x coordinate is 3. To get the y coordinate, from this point, draw a line perpendicular to here and see where it meets. It meets at -3. So the y coordinate is -3. I'm not having a graph paper here, but if you have a graph paper properly, then the lines are already there. Say square lines होते हैं वहां पर. So you will not have much trouble in finding the coordinates. So you see that the point Q has x coordinate as 3 and y coordinate as -3. Let us take a point here. Say, I may take a point A here. And if I ask you to find out its coordinate, what will you do? From here, draw a line perpendicular to x-axis and see where it meets. यहाँ से मैंने draw किया and I see that it meets at -2. तो इसका x coordinate हो गया -2. और y coordinate के लिए मुझे यहाँ से line draw करना पड़ेगा and see where it meets. It also meets at -2. So the coordinate of A is -2 and -2. In this way, I can find out the coordinates of any point on the plane. Let us take a point, say here. Let us call it a point B. Iska x coordinate, if I want, I have to draw a perpendicular from here to x-axis. That meets at -3. And यहाँ से y-axis पे 4 पे. तो इसके coordinate है -3 and 4. What I'm observing here, if the point is in the x coordinate, uske x is in the first quadrant. This is the first quadrant, correct? Uske x coordinate and y coordinate both are positive. Both are positive. If the point is in the second quadrant, for example, I have taken a point B here, उसका x coordinate क्या होता था? Negative होता था और y coordinate positive. That shows that if I take any point in the second quadrant, उसका x coordinate will be negative and y coordinate will be positive. In the third quadrant, if I take any point, उसका x coordinate भी negative होगा और y coordinate भी negative होगा. And in the fourth one, x coordinate will be positive, y coordinate will be negative. This is what I have tried to show here. First quadrant, both the coordinates will be positive. In the second quadrant, first x coordinate will be negative, y coordinate will be positive. In the third, x coordinate will be negative, y will be negative. In the fourth, x coordinate will be positive and y coordinate will be negative. So we have seen that any point in the plane has two coordinates, x and y. पहले हम x लिखते हैं, बाद में y लिखते हैं. Okay, so any point you take, it will have two coordinates, x coordinate and y coordinate. अगर x और y दोनों पॉजिटिव है तो वो वाला पॉइंट फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में होगा, x नेगेटिव y पॉजिटिव तो सेकंड में होगा, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन हैव. ठीक है. On the other hand, if you are given the coordinates of a point, then you can plot that point on the graph paper. How? Suppose I give you plotting a point on the plane. Suppose I give you a point जिसके coordinate है 3 and 4, and I ask you ये point को इधर locate करो, कहाँ होगा वो point? इसका x coordinate कितना है? X coordinate is 3, and what is y coordinate? It is 4. हमें ये कहाँ पर होगा? तो दोनों पॉजिटिव है, इसका मतलब ये फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में होगा. x का वैल्यू कितना है? 3, मतलब यहाँ x is 3 and y कितना है? y is 4. तो what we will do? We will draw a line like this parallel to x y axis, and यहाँ पे 3 parallel to y axis, here parallel to x axis, and where these 2 points meet, this is the point P having the coordinates 3 and 4. So this is how we plot any point on the plane. क्या करना है हमको? पहले उसका x कोऑर्डिनेट देखना है. अगर वो पॉजिटिव है तो यहाँ होगा राइट साइड में, नेगेटिव है तो इधर होगा. तो यहाँ ये पॉजिटिव है तो x is 3 here, y is 4. Now what you have to do, from this point a line should be drawn perpendicular to x axis, or you can say parallel to y axis. ये लाइन और यहाँ से भी लाइन, ये जहां दोनों लाइन मिलेंगे, this is the point 3 and 4. Okay. In this way, any point, if you know its coordinate, you can plot it on the graph paper. Here, because I'm not having a proper graph paper here, but on the graph paper, you will be already having these lines. So you don't even have to draw it. You can easily see कि यहाँ 3 है, यहाँ 4 है, तो यहाँ already line रहेगा. And then you can see where they are meeting, and that point will be 3, 4. So we have seen plotting a point on the plane. Now, let me give you a point here, say 4 and 0, and I want you to plot this point on the plane. What is the x coordinate here? It is 4. So x coordinate is 4. What is y coordinate? It is 0. So y का 0 here. Where will be this point? It will be here. Means this point 4, 0, suppose I call it as P, it lies on which axis? On x axis. Similarly, if I ask you plot the point 6, 0, where will be this? X coordinate is 6, means it will be here. Y coordinate is 0. So this is the point Q. इसका coordinate is 6 and 0. इसका है 4 and 0. What about if I take the point minus 1 and 0? Minus 1 x coordinate, y coordinate is 0. So this is the point R, minus 1 and 0. What about the coordinates of this point? Suppose I call it as S. इसके coordinate क्या होंगे? X coordinate is minus 4 and y coordinate, y मतलब यहाँ से y axis को perpendicular draw करना, that means at 0. So what I have observed, if I take any point on the x axis, ये सारे point x axis के ऊपर ही थे, उनका सबका y coordinate क्या है? 0 है. इसका भी देखो, x coordinate will be minus 4, लेकिन y coordinate 0 है. What I am observing, that if I take any point on the x axis, देखो उसका y coordinate क्या है? 0 है. This is the speciality of x axis. Any point on the x axis has its y coordinate equal to 0. Therefore, we say that equation of x axis is y equal to 0. What we say? Equation of x axis is y equal to 0. Equation of x axis is y equal to 0. Similarly, let us take a point on the y axis and see what are its coordinates. Let us take some few points on the y axis. They feel y axis, correct? Let us take some point and find out their coordinates. What about the coordinates of this point A, B? Let us take a point C, and let us take a point D, and let us take a point, say for example, E here. What will be the coordinate of point A? X coordinate क्या होगा? यहाँ से आप x को एक्सिस को देखो, फिर x एक्सिस कहाँ पर मिल रहा है, ये 0 पे, तो x कोऑर्डिनेट इज 0, y कोऑर्डिनेट इज 1, इसका x कोऑर्डिनेट इज 0, y कोऑर्डिनेट इज 2, इसका x कोऑर्डिनेट देखना है तो x के ऊपर परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करेंगे, इट इज मीटिंग एट 0, x coordinate is 0, y is 4. Here x coordinate is 0, y is 1. Here x coordinate is 0, y is minus 3. So what you are observing? You are observing that if you take any point on the y axis, uska x coordinate kya hai? 0. This is the speciality of y axis. So what we say? We say that equation of y axis is x equal to 0. Equation of y axis is x equal to 0. We have seen two things. Equation of x-axis is y equal to 0 and equation of y-axis is x equal to 0. Okay? Now let us take a line like this. Here I have taken a line, let me call it the line L and this M. This is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. I have taken a line here which is parallel to x-axis. Now what is the meaning of parallel lines? Lines are called parallel if the distance between those two lines is always same. So these two lines are parallel. This and this are not parallel. Why? Because if I extend them, अगर मैंने इसको और extend किया और इसको भी extend किया, तो they will meet somewhere, correct? So they are not, these are not parallel. This is parallel. So railway track, this is an example of parallel lines. Railway के जो tracks होते हैं, ये parallel होते हैं. Okay, so ये जो line है L, this is parallel to x-axis. Okay. Now let us take some few points on this line L and find out their coordinates. Let us take a point P here. P. Let us take this point Q. 2 point यहाँ ले लेते हैं and let us take 2 points here. What will be the coordinates of the point P? X coordinate निकालना है तो आप यहाँ से परपेंडिकुलर, ये 1 पे मिल रहा है तो x coordinate is 1. Y coordinate यहाँ से आप देखेंगे ये 3 पे मिल रहा है तो y coordinate is 3. तो P के coordinate क्या हो गए? 1 and 3. What is the coordinates of Q? It is meeting x axis as 3, so x coordinate is 3, y coordinate is also 3. What about suppose I take a point here R, इसका x coordinate is 5 and y coordinate is again same as 3. What about here? Let us call it as ST. I am taking some few points on the other side also. X coordinate is -2 but y coordinate is same as 3. T, x coordinate is -4 but y coordinate is same as 3. Let us see the observation, what you have observed. If I take any point on this line, you observe that xy coordinate is same, 3. So what is the special thing about this line? Any point you take on this line, uska y coordinate is same as 3. So we say that y equal to 3 is the equation of this line L. Okay. So an equation, and what type of line L was? It was parallel to x-axis. So what we can say, if a line is parallel to x-axis, उसका इक्वेशन क्या होगा? y equal to something. y equal to something. Something मतलब some number, constant. So y equal to 3. अगर ये नंबर पॉजिटिव है तो लाइन एक्स एक्सिस के ऊपर होगा और अगर ये नेगेटिव है तो लाइन नीचे होगा. देखो मैंने एक और लाइन ड्रॉ की है यहाँ पर, कैपिटल M. आई एम गिविंग द नेम टू दिस लाइन एज M. इस लाइन पे अगर मैं कुछ पॉइंट्स लूं, let us take some few points here and find out their coordinates. Look at this point A. इसका x coordinate 1 होगा, y coordinate -4 होगा. इस वाले पॉइंट का x coordinate will be 3 and y coordinate will be -4. What about this point? X coordinate will be 6 but y coordinate will be same as -4. Similarly यहाँ पर x coordinate, let us take a point here, x coordinate is -3, यहाँ y coordinate will be -4. Here x coordinate is -4, y coordinate will be -4. Look at here, everywhere the y coordinate is same. ये लाइन के ऊपर आप कोई भी लाइन लो, कोई भी पॉइंट लो, उसका y coordinate सेम ही आ रहा है, -4. So what is the equation of this line? It is y equal to -4. So what we have learned today, that equation of line which is parallel to x-axis is y equal to some number. An equation of line parallel to x-axis but on the below side, it is also y equal to some number but that number will be negative. Okay, so अगर वो number negative है तो line will be above x-axis. If the number is negative, like for example here, the line will be below the x-axis. And ये जो 3 है, what is this? It is the distance between these two lines. ये देखो, ये लाइन के बीच, ये दोनों लाइन के बीच का डिस्टेंस 3 है. यहाँ पर भी डिस्टेंस क्या है? 4 है, लेकिन ये नीचे है, तो y equal to -4 is the equation of this line. So what we have seen, equation of line parallel to x-axis is y equal to k, where k is a constant. अगर k 0 हुआ, मतलब अगर आपकी लाइन ऐसी है y equal to 0, k का वैल्यू अगर 0 हुआ, तो you will get y equal to 0. y equal to 0 is what? It is nothing but the x-axis. x-axis का इक्वेशन होता है y equal to 0, है ना. और अगर k पॉजिटिव हुआ, तो आपकी लाइन x-axis के ऊपर होगी, जैसे कि हमने अभी अभी देखा था. Well, here k is 3, positive है, तो line will be above. And if k is negative, less than 0, then the line will be below the x-axis. Okay, so we have seen the equation of line parallel to x-axis is y equal to k, where k is a constant. Now we'll see the equation of line parallel to y-axis. Now I have taken a line L and M. L is parallel to y-axis. This is my y-axis. Okay, let us take any points on this. You will observe that. Let us take some few points down and some few points up. So here, this point A, its coordinate, x coordinate is 4 and y coordinate is, it is meeting y at 1. Here, x coordinate is 4, y coordinate is also 4. Here, if I take this point, x coordinate will be 4, but y coordinate will be 5. If I take this point, x coordinate is 4, y coordinate is -2. Here, x coordinate is 4, y coordinate is -4. This point, x coordinate is 4, y coordinate is -5. What am I observing here? You take any point on this line, उन सब का x coordinate 4 ही है. Look at here, 4, 4, 4, 4. इसका मतलब इस लाइन का क्या स्पेशलिटी है? You take any point on this line, उसका x coordinate will be same as 4. So x equal to 4 becomes the equation of this line. So what we have noted, equation of line which is parallel to y-axis is x equal to 4. What is this 4? This 4 is nothing but the distance between this line and the age of distance, this is 4. So if the line is parallel to y-axis, उसका equation होगा x equal to k. K is some number constant. अगर ये k पॉजिटिव है, तो लाइन होगा राइट साइड में. अगर ये k 0 हो गया, तो लाइन क्या हो जाएगा? दिस इज k is 4, तो लाइन y एक्सिस हो जाएगा. और अगर k नेगेटिव हुआ, तो लाइन विल बी टू द लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ द y एक्सिस. लुक एट हियर, यहाँ ये मैंने एक और लाइन ली है, दिस इज लेफ्ट साइड ऑफ y एक्सिस. इस लाइन पे अगर मैं कुछ भी पॉइंट लूं, तो उनका जो कोऑर्डिनेट्स होगा, उनका जो x कोऑर्डिनेट होगा, फॉर एग्जांपल लेट अस टेक दिस पॉइंट, इसका x कोऑर्डिनेट इज -3 एंड y कोऑर्डिनेट इज 2. इसका x कोऑर्डिनेट इज -3, y coordinate is 3. इसका x coordinate is -3, y coordinate is 4. Here x coordinate is -3, y coordinate is -2. Here -3, -4. Here -3, -3. You can see here, you take any point on this line, उन सब का x coordinate क्या है? Same है, -3, -3, -3. So what is the equation of this line? X equal to -3. इसका मतलब हमने क्या देखा? Any line which is parallel to y-axis, the equation of that such line will be x equal to something, x equal to constant. If that constant is positive, line will be to the right side. If it is negative, line will be to the left side of y-axis. And if it is 0, then that line will coincide with the y-axis. So this is what I have written here. Look at here. Equation of line parallel to y-axis is given by x equal to k, where k is a constant. If k is 0, the line is y-axis. If k is positive, the line lies to the right side. If k is negative, the line lies to the left side of y-axis. So to summarize what we have seen today, these 4 things. Equation of x-axis is y equal to 0. Equation of y-axis is x equal to 0. Equation of line parallel to x-axis is y equal to some number k. K is a constant. अगर k 0 हुआ, तो that will be the x-axis. Positive हुआ, तो the line will be above x-axis. अगर negative हुआ, तो line will be below x-axis. Equation of line parallel to y-axis will be given by इक्वेशन ऑफ लाइन पैरेलल टू वाई एक्सिस, मतलब ये वाई एक्सिस है ऐसा लाइन, तो that equation will be ये x equal to k. If k is positive, line will be to the right side, and if it is negative, line will be to the left side. So equation of, we have seen 4 types of lines today. Okay, x axis, y axis, a line parallel to x axis, and a line parallel to y axis. So equation of x axis is y equal to 0. Equation of y axis is x equal to 0. Equation of line parallel to x axis is y equal to some number k. K is a constant. Equation of line parallel to y axis is x equal to k. So 4 types of lines we have seen today. We will continue this in the next class, and we will try to see how can we draw a line on the plane. Not, we have seen only 4 types of line, लेकिन lines can be any lines, तो किसी भी तरह से हो सकते हैं ना. There may be lines which are passing through zero, which are neither parallel. ऐसे भी line हो सकता है, ऐसा line, इसका इक्वेशन, या फिर ऐसा लाइन जो 0 0 से पास हो रहा है, उनका इक्वेशन कैसे निकालेंगे, या फिर ऐसी लाइन, कोई भी ऐसी लाइन, ये तो neither parallel to x axis and nor y axis है. How to find out how to get the equation of such lines, or if the equation is given, how to plot those lines on the plane. So this much we have done today. We will continue in the next class. Thank you.